welcome to Backbreaking News episode 171 or 1. Today we're going to be talking about something very interesting. I decided to do this video a long time ago, but today is going to be the day that we finally do it. It's going to be my top 5 favorite WWE wrestlers. I know I could do this on my Wrestle Talk series, but since it's getting closer and closer to the day that this series first started, I wanted to make sure I did something special for these last few months of Backbreaking News. So why not go back to Backbreaking News when it was mostly wrestling, I thought. So let's begin with the number one thing. This is going to be number 1 is my favorite. Number 5 is, in the middle. He's one of my favorites, but not my favorite of all time, So we're going to start 1. Of course, it's the Scottish. It's Drew McIntyre. Randy Orton. In all seriousness, Drew McIntyre has been my favorite wrestler for a while now. He's just entertaining to watch, and overall, just, in my opinion, a good wrestler. He's able to tell stories with opponents that, and personally, make his matches more exciting, because he could always bring something personal into it, even if you always just feel their face, you just hope he succeeds. That's how good of a character Drew McIntyre is. You want him to succeed even if he's a villain, good guy, a heel or face, Heel being the bad guy and face being a good guy. Well, as a matter of fact, number 2 is, Gunther is my second favorite wrestler, at least in the WWE side. Gunther has had some of the best matches of all time. Not really best matches of all time, but he has had some of the best matches with people. He has never had a bad match. He has had a few decent in the middle matches, but it's either good or in the middle. It's not like, oh, this is horrendous to watch. Even his terrible match with Matt Riddle, it wasn't that bad. It was in the middle. If your terrible match is in the middle match, that just shows that you have good chemistry in ring and with your opponents. It's just that Gunther is definitely the one person that is deserving of the World Heavyweight Championship. If not, he should have won the title, the Crown Jewel Championship against Cody Rhodes, but Cody Rhodes didn't need that. He is your major champion. That would have been a good opportunity to put Gunther over, but you have to make Cody Rhodes all powerful. Okay, number 3 is the undisputed champion, Cody Rhodes. Come on, we share the same first name. It goes deeper than that. I think he could have good matches. He's definitely had a few good matches here and there, but his feud with Solo is definitely, and his never-ending story of being involved with the Bloodline is the most annoying part of his whole big shtick. The Bloodline thing ended as soon as he beat Roman Reigns. You don't need to have him face The Rock. You don't need him to have to face Solo Sikoa. He should have been out of the Bloodline storyline at the beginning of this year. You're just evolving Cody Rhodes because he's your top guy and you want the Bloodline to be at top always, even if it's Solo Sikoa. If you haven't watched Wrestling Talk episode 61, you could hear my opinions on the head of the toilet, Solo Sikoa. Because he ain't the head of the table, he loses every time. And his matches are garbage. So that's why I call him He has to be the head of the something. So why not the toilet? Okay. But Cody Rhodes is a good wrestler in my opinion. The next one, for no indiscernible reason, CM Punk. Him and Drew Mac. I've always been a somewhat fan of CM Punk, but I didn't start watching when he debuted. But from what I've seen of him, he's like very talented as far as in-ring work, and I think he's slowly becoming one of the favorites. I like CM Punk, you know. I just think he's good in ring, and he can make things personal with people. He just has the way to get under people's skin and makes things seem like they're actually personal. He's a very good storyteller. His stories are what makes his match good. Like, him and Drew McIntyre killed each other. I think WWE is doing the match of the year. I think by far of this year, it's either Gunther or Randy Orton at Bash in Berlin, or CM Punk and Drew McIntyre inside Hell in a Cell. Those are, it's just, you know. The next one is the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. I was always a fan of him, but people hated him back in like 2016. It just seems that he fell down the favor after, you know, the whole long championship reign, barely defending it. And, you know, if you know me, I think champions should be defending their title. And that's what brought him down so low. Because his reign could have had the opportunity to be cool if he defended it on like Raw and SmackDown more. But they wanted to give him more of a special feel. Like, I get it, but he was my favorite. And then it seemed like Drew McIntyre was there when Roman Reigns wasn't. And then Drew McIntyre didn't have to do the same old shtick every time the Usos interfere. Oh boy. Who's going to interfere this time? Oh boy, it's Solo Sikoa. It was the same gimmick every match. It wasn't like anything different was happening in Roman Reigns matches. You know, Roman Reigns was going to get a little bit of head. The other opponent starts going to kick his butt, and then the Usos come out and save his title reign. That was the formula of a Roman Reigns match when he was champion. There was no match in between. Maybe there was matches where his opponent would just keep beating him up, like Brock Lesnar, but that was the only one situation where Roman Reigns was made to look somewhat a little bit weaker. As much as I like Roman Reigns, that brought him down a lot. We'll see what happens in the next year or so. Goodbye!